Oh, man, boy, I feel good today, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, the Creator woke me up this morning, man. I'm sitting here with a brother from Baltimore, Maryland. You know what I'm saying? A brother named Imhotep. I want the brother, man, to actually, man, tell the people out there about what his organization is about, what he's doing for black people, and things in that nature, brother.
Yeah, thanks, Baba Seville. PLM is the organization, and our primary focus is African sovereignty, and we believe that we can achieve that if we return to the ways of our ancestors, uncompromisingly. We need to be authentically African people, and we need to re-assimilate all that our ancestors left for us. My position is the position that the history need to be authentic, pre-European, pre-Islamic invasions, and the culture need to be authentically African, pre-European and pre-Islamic invasion. And once we begin to draw on the wealth of the knowledge of our ancestors, once we begin to shower and bathe in our authentic culture, then we can begin to truly understand who we are as African people. And as such, we can begin to transform things and change ourselves as we move forward in this Ma'afa, as Dr. Marima Ani teaches us about. We have to be serious, and that's my position. My position is always stay strong and always to stay firm and to stay serious about it. So that's pretty much what we're doing, and I appreciate this opportunity to be here with Baba Seville and to move forward, and hopefully we'll continue to build.
Yes, this brother is very powerful. There's not too many brothers like him right now that's showing the example of what he's actually doing. He's not just talking, he's walking it. And see, that's a big difference from a lot of people. A lot of people are talking it, but they're not walking it. You know what I'm saying? Will you please tell the people what you just finished giving the lecture about?
Yes, great question, my brother. I was just giving a lecture in Brooklyn, New York on my second book, actually. I have two books out. Currently have two books out. I'm currently working on a third book. The first book I released last year, 2014, Urban Philosophy, Thought and Behavior System. And then I released my second book in 2015, Urban Philosophy, Politics and Urban Struggle. And I spoke about my second book today at the African Village, Brooklyn, New York. I spoke about the politics of urban struggle. And when I mean by politics of urban struggle, I'm pretty much talking about the management, the operation, and the execution of the endeavors for African sovereignty. How should we be moving? What should we be doing? What should we not do? How should we be thinking? How should we behave? What should be the ideologies that we're utilizing? How should we conduct ourselves? How should we organize our organizations? I speak about that because when you truly look at us as a people and look at our endeavors and look at our struggles, a lot of our organizations are in shambles. There's a lot of chaos and confusion within our organizations, and from my experience and from my knowledge, it has a lot to do with the fact that there's a great deal of ignorance in the area of organizing. We have to really think about organizing as its own discipline, and we need to come to understand that people need to be educated and trained how to organize, how to build organizations, how to lead. You just don't go to bed one night and wake up the very next morning with the understanding how to organize. Organizations are institutions, and those institutions, in terms of the structure and laying the foundations, it follows a certain type of logic. And that logic, we come to understand it just by studying the ways of our ancestors, because our ancestors were the first institution builders in history. So if we are truly going to be African-centered, we got to really pull on the best of our ancestors and understand how they laid the foundations to build those great and mighty institutions.
Yes, brother. Also, you told me a little about, you have a part that are dealing with men and a part that are dealing with women. Give the people a little insight about how, your organization is structured with the man and the woman.
Excellent. From my position, and I talk about it a lot in my second book, which is, matter of fact, is right here. This is the first book, my red book right here, Thought and Behavior System. That's the first one. You read this book, it's going to lay down the whole philosophy behind urban philosophy. This is the second book. This book came out in 2015. This is the one that I did the presentation on today, dealing with the politics of urban struggle. And inside this particular book, I talk about the necessity of building into our organizations a brotherhood and a sisterhood. And the reasoning behind the brotherhood and the sisterhood is because African people within the Ma'afa suffer from a lot of psychosocial pathologies and traumas. And we need to build into our organizations institutions that speak to those issues. So the brotherhood and the sisterhood becomes that institution because they are therapeutic in nature. So within the brotherhood is where men rectify and correct men. It's where men sharpen men to help men become better men. And within our sisterhood, it's the same. It's where women help women sharpen women to become better women. Only a woman can truly help a woman to become a woman. And only a man can move a boy into manhood. To transition from boyhood into manhood, it's going to take men to do that. Authentic African men. And that's the same for our young girls, our young ladies. In order for them to transition from girlhood, from adolescent into womanhood, it's going to take authentic African women who understand and know that they are African women. And we got to come to realize that it's going to take a lot of psychological work to make this happen. So in our organizations, we have to have a brotherhood built into it and a sisterhood if we're going to speak to the psychological and social traumas that plague the black community.
Thank you, brother. I think that's very important, man, what the brother just said. You don't have a lot of organizations that are set up like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, also, there are different aspects of the organization. My brother, come here for a minute, brother. Baba, come here. What's your name? Tell the people about yourself.
I'm Baba Shaka, a member of PLM. At the presentation today, very excited the way Bob Imhotep laid it down. I've been a member of the organization for the last 8 years. It's a very, very revolutionary, very strong organization that is skilled in building men, building people. The Bob is very developed and very sharp in developing people and building people. So PLM is a great organization, it's a strong organization in Tubman City, Baltimore, Maryland, and we're getting work done. I don't have a lot to say because I'm on post, but I'm very happy to be here in New York City. It's always major up here. We're trying to be up here. We're trying to enlighten our people up here and trying to help enlighten our people out here with great brothers like that's up here. But I'm on post, and that's all I have to say.
Yeah, when he say he's on post, he's on security, man, making sure his brother's all right. Come here, man. All right, here's another brother, man, part of the organization, man. Say a few words to the people.
Hotep, my name is Jonathan. Just a few words. I just want to piggyback on what the Baba was talking about. I came into the organization around 2012, began my process of really studying and building with them. At 25, I had a job, what the society would define as being a decent car, a Mercedes if anybody is interested. Had those things, but I realized even at 25, with all of those material possessions, I still had a lot to learn about manhood, and I didn't consider myself a man once I really got to understand African culture. But being in the process and being involved in studying and being around men, I came to realize what manhood is about, and then I began my process of really moving into being a genuine and an authentic African man. Hotep.
Thank you so much, brother. And we have one more brother here, man. Come on, my brother. Come on. You know what I'm saying? They're coming for us, man. You know what I'm saying? That and the word for is culture. You know what I'm saying? Something that these brothers have way from Baltimore. Brother, what's your name?
My name is Heru, also known as Freedom Rider, the group Precise Science. I bumped into this brother, I think, in 2007. Yeah. And I was really impressed with, the way the organization was set up and, what it had produced. This brother has built men, that otherwise were living, crazy lives. And now they're contributing to our struggle as a people. And I was very impressed, and I've been around ever since. So it's, I'm working on my 8th, 9th year right now with the organization. And, it's giving me purpose. It's putting a plan behind all the ideas that I may have had in my head. The vision that this brother has really put me in line with, feel like I'm making a difference. And, the organization, the progress speaks for itself. All right. So just watch PLM, soon to be the model for this nation building thing.
Oh man, that's a beautiful thing, man. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, man, you know what I'm saying? I want one more question to ask the brother. You know, you spoke to me about something about how you have the school system, or the system that you have for the children set up.
Yeah.
And I think it was very powerful the way that you explained it. I would like you to tell the people how you got, you know, your organization and the school system set up.
Yes, one of the things that I talk about in this black book, the politics of urban struggles, I talk about the necessity of building institutions. The institutions is going to aid us in our power building efforts. And one of the institutions that we have been successful at building is what we define as being the Watoto Development Center. That's our child care development institution. We take children as young as 6 months of age, and we can work with them up until the age of 5. And then after the age of 5, they can transition from the Watoto Development Center, and they can transition into our youth organization, which is the Urban Youth Initiative Project, which deal with children ages 6 all the way to 17 for the most part. But it's broken down into different programs. We have one program, which is our CASH program, the African History and Self-Development course, ages 6 to 12. And then they can transition from that. If it's a male, they can go into the Zulu Brotherhood. If it's a female, they can go into the Nzinga Sisterhood. And we deal with our young adolescents. So the entire process is designed to move our children from 6 months, from birth, all the way through to keep them in a developmental process. And then they transition into the study class. And then from our study class, which is the African Awareness and Critical Thinking study class, this is where they get the critical hardcore lessons in terms of leadership, preparation, and things of that nature there. And then at some point, depending upon how effective and how successful they are in the study class, they can transition into the organization's brotherhood or the organization's sisterhood. So the idea is to build these institutions, because these institutions are what we utilize to build our people. And the institutions is where we house our ideas, and is where the ideas are transmitted from one generation to the next generation, so that we may perpetuate who we are as an organization.
Woo! That's blackness, brother. That's black power. You know what I'm saying? You know, and listen, if anybody would like this brother to come to their state, their city, you know, anywhere in the country, you know what I'm saying, give them the information on how they would get in contact with you, brother.
Yeah, you can find me directly on Facebook. If you go to Facebook and just type in Imhotep, IMHOTEP, Fatiu, FATIU, I will pop up. You can inbox me there. That's the best way to find me. Or you can go to my website, www.thefirst.urbanphilosopher.com. You can go there and you can find me.
Thank you, man. This is Baba TV, and we're out.